Hey, welcome to another episode of the podcast from Nerdy Brew, or the Nerdy Brew, because we kind of changed shit around. We're kind of a different location. Still
Temporary.
a black friend here, though.
Temporary.
I don't know what's going on with that. But, yeah, it's been since February, I think.
Too long.
Oh, wow.
Too long, yeah.
We can't do a podcast and not actually put out content, so let's do this.
Well, we've had a lot of, changes, He's crippled now. You have a child. What? He is crippled. You have a
Temporarily
child.
disabled. There's a difference.
And I'm moving. So, all shit happening.
We lost like 5 people just at the beginning.
Now, we're good. I can edit all this stuff to make it fantastic. I'll put explosions in the background.
Yeah, you should go put him on fire since he's crippled.
That'd be pretty awesome.
He can be the Human Torch. So E3
Flame
was
on.
E3 was this past week. I sat at work and watched it because hopefully no one watches this at work because I'm probably gonna get fired. But
Did
it
your
was
boss watch this?
maybe
We'll find out.
You're getting that
Tune in
pink slip.
next
find out on next podcast if I got fired or not. Another big change. But did you guys watch any of the conferences or anything?
I watched like the edits, or not the edits, but like the clips,
The recaps, basically.
That's about all I watched was the highlights.
the highlights.
Yeah, the highlights and shit.
but-
Yeah.
I did make, I made a list of all the highlighted titles that, we don't want to stretch this out too long, so I just made a quick list. We can go over thoughts and opinions on each one real quick.
We got other
And,
things to film.
Go.
Yeah,
We're actually
yeah.
doing real content
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah. Alright, so first thing on the list, Ghost Recon Wildlands.
That was awesome.
Ghost Recon meets GTA.
Yeah, that was fucking sweet. I cannot wait for that game.
It's gonna be incredible.
Um,
The last Ghost,
You say
the
meh?
last,
Yeah.
the last Ghost Recon they had when they had the Connect. The Connect was a flawed idea to begin with, but the whole gunsmith where you could
I thought that
break
was
the weapon
awesome.
apart. And,
it was it was awesome in concept,
Yeah.
but I think practically it was shit.
No, it was.
And it was like one of the Kinect's first like big gun things on the Kinect, so I think flaws were meant.
You know what? I think that would really work well with, and I hope it actually happens. VR. I think with VR that would be a lot better.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see how that
Is
plays
VR going to
out.
go towards Xbox and PlayStation things, or you just
Yeah,
don't think they're going to?
PlayStation already has theirs coming out. I talked about it in the review. It's coming out August 13th for $399. So it's going to be for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Neo. I think it's codenamed right now.
But what they failed to say in that whole little statement that people kind of rectify later is you're going to expect to chip in another $50 for the camera because you need the camera to be able to play.
Can I use my old Move camera?
Yeah.
I still have one of those.
I don't think that works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
probably not because no one used it to begin with.
nice.
That's true.
Ass.
Next up, Gears 4.
Awesome. Oh, wait, Gears 4? They meant God
Gears
of War
4.
4. Sorry.
No.
Not
Gears
awesome.
4.
Really?
That's later down on the list. We'll get to that. Gears 4, definitely awesome.
Of course, I
it's
mean he's not a big
expanding-
fan. I'm a huge fan of Gears.
It's expanding onto the original trilogy. It's no longer Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago. Now it's Marcus's son.
Did you,
and his friends.
Which is it like afterwards, or is it like
It's after. It's
Okay.
after the original
Did
trilogy.
you
Who
watch-
the hell fucked up
in
Marcus
the highlights,
Phoenix?
did they have the cutaway to Marcus?
Yes.
Okay,
they
the
did.
old man Marcus with the gray beard?
Yes.
Okay.
He
That's what
they
it got
showed-
me.
They showed the trailer where his son JT was a little itty bitty boy. This is before, I guess, after the original trilogy, before Part 4. They showed them on a farm. Marcus is digging in the field, and JT comes running up, and then all hell breaks loose. It gives a shot of a tree with his initials in it, and then
Yeah, didn't they like cut back and forth
Yes.
between
Yeah,
like
it was-
gameplay?
Because he was running
Yes.
through the forest,
Yeah.
they were running through the farm, blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
yeah, super excited for that one.
I just want to know the story. I know it's weird for a gun shooter game, but I actually enjoy the Gears storyline,
Oh, it was amazing. All through.
especially number
Um,
2. That was heartbreaking.
Man, don't you love those Call of Duty storylines though?
I can't say the same for the.
You play through it, you get fucked over right towards the end, and then you become the good guy again.
Yeah.
It was sarcasm. Implemented sarcasm.
Moving on. Resident Evil. They have not one, not two, but 3 titles being released over the next.
Well, they have
8 months.
remastered titles in that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then
2 out of the 3 are remasters. They've already pretty much guaranteed that number 3 will not get a remaster.
That was like
but
everyone's favorite, wasn't
they're
it?
remastering 2, they're
Real
remastering
pressure up in the
4,
trash.
and they're remastering 5. 5's actually scheduled to drop next week.
Nice.
And then what everybody's all been waiting
They
for,
remastered the shooter concept in that, I hope.
part 7.
Fucking-
Is,
we played the
beginning next
demo.
year. Yeah, we did. We did. It's a little confusing. They've announced that nothing in the demo is going to be in the final release.
That's
It's all just showing what the engine is capable of doing. There's stuff that they put into the demo that is making people go nuts online trying to figure out, well, what's this used for? How can I use this? How can I unlock this door? And nobody can seem to figure it out.
Well, I know there's like 3 endings that we did.
4.
4 endings that we did that we read a little bit off online how to do it. And yet still nobody's, I think, been able to find out what that finger does.
That's the damn mannequin finger, man. Nobody can figure that piece out.
That was funny. I was reading a comment. I forgot if it was Reddit or somewhere else, but it was basically saying like, what was it? Konami does Capcom. That Capcom's basically giving you the finger.
Yeah, I read that too, and it wouldn't be far fetched. It really wouldn't.
Maybe it's like, hey, you're trying to figure this out. Really, it's
Yeah.
nothing.
But you know what it is? It's probably it's letting people, it's telling people keep playing to figure it out, and if there's really nothing there, it's just enticing people to play more.
Yeah, that's all it is. They're
Build it up,
trying
build it
to.
up.
They're trying to. I think they're trying to gauge how much time players are willing to put into it to figure things
Yeah.
out. And they're doing a damn good job because these people are going nuts for this.
I think my favorite part about the Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is the code name right now, was the VR playability for Sony, which I think it's going to bring a whole new fucking level into it. And I'm not a big Resident Evil fan. I really didn't care for the older games, but I think I might actually jump. I know.
You're a communist.
I won't go that far.
Some
But
of them were slow build and just walk into this room. Oh, there's nothing. Collect a potion. Walk to this room. Oh, there's a zombie, and I'm done.
see, I hate the gameplay. I don't like.
Yeah.
The first games I played were like the original, like 3 and 2, and it's just I hate the fact that you have to stop and shoot, and that's where I was like, I'm not gonna play Resident Evil anymore because this is just boring to me.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. The old tank style controls really did it no favors, but the remasters are all including the free roam controls into the older versions.
So we'll see.
Next one on the list is one that's near and dear to me. I've been a fan since part 1. Dead Rising. Dead Rising is releasing part 4.
They're bringing back original character, right?
They are. Frank West from the original 1 and the DLC from 2 is coming back as the main character. They put together a nice little montage video, I guess you could call it. They really didn't say very much about the game. They just showed a few things that you could do, a few things you can build. But if it's as over the top as the other 3 were, it'll be entertaining. It'll be worth playing.
The last 3, the mechanics for what you could build were outrageous.
Yeah,
I mean, think of all things you could do.
After like the
If you
first,
could make a Sharknado, that'd be great.
after the first 2, I
I
kind of
would
like.
not doubt it.
I lost like the feel for it after the first 2. Honestly, I don't know. It just seemed like very repetitive at that point. Like I remember in the first one at the mall where I just literally got into the car and went down to the parking garage and just ran over zombies like over and over again. And I was like, this is as much fun as I'm going to have realistically.
Part 1, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt once again. Part 1 was strictly focused on a lot of time frames. Everything was
And I
very
hated that, yeah.
time sensitive. And as the series went on, the time frames got a little less constricting. Like 3, they still have their time frames. They still have time sensitive missions, but it wasn't as urgent. Like you didn't have to worry about, oh, I have 30 seconds to get from X to A, or it's not quite like that. You have a little more time to play with, a little more time to build things, and a lot more time to kill. So it was 3 was very entertaining, and it was a completely different storyline from the other 2. It didn't really have anything to do with the other 2. Let's talk Hideo Kojima.
So glad he's back.
Glad he's back. Glad he has his own studio. Glad he kind of threw a finger to Konami. But that fucking trailer was so strange. I'm glad that they're still using Norman Reedus from... Originally, he was supposed to work with him on PT. But it's just like, dude,
that
so
thing's
weird.
coming out.
Like electrical cord, umbilical cord running from him to the baby, and like the whole atmosphere is just really strange.
You know, I kind of got my feelings hurt though, because I don't know anything about this new game. For all I know, it could be a spiritual successor to Silent Hills. But I'm hurt that PT got canceled.
Playing the demo, and
Yep.
when you get to the baby in sync part, I was like, this is not gonna make it far.
I didn't have my PS4 in time to get the PT demo, but from what I watched of it,
It was good, but it was
poop and pants inducing.
Well, now you have Resident Evil to look forward to.
Yeah,
it
no.
was down there. So
You can just keep playing that demo.
there's some things that I guess in horror games and horror movies, people are still uncomfortable with, and they'll put anything in it to stop it from happening.
So VR, growing fad, expensive fad. There's only one thing that they announced that just blew my mind.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. That is what VR was made for.
Yeah, I mean
It's-
the battles and the space battles are gonna be awesome.
That's the demo that they showed off, was the X-wing battle in space.
Yeah, I don't
And
see, and I don't know
it's-
if it's gonna be a Battlefield add-on or if it's gonna be its own separate game, but it looked pretty sweet.
From what it said in the one review is that some of the things in the Battlefield will be equipable in the VR game, so it's still like, I don't know if it's just going to be an extra download and you can play via using the VR or what, but
So like a DLC.
probably it'll be a DLC because spend money.
You'll spend money for a new game if it's VR related with
Yeah,
Star
it'll
Wars.
probably be the same amount of money for that DLC.
I probably would.
But that's the
Honestly,
thing.
Star Wars
So,
VR, yeah. I
Is it
probably would.
gonna be strictly like PlayStation 4 and PC? Because they haven't really announced anything about Microsoft's VR capability yet. And I heard it's
No.
not really going to be happening until probably Project Scorpio.
And the Scorpio is what, November?
2 years.
Oh, is
And
it?
this August is
The
S.
Okay.
The
yeah,
following
right.
August is going to be Scorpio.
And Scorpio is just basically a glorified, more powerful Xbox One.
6
It's-
teraflops
it's the same.
and 4K baloney.
It's the same console, people. Let's get real. Stop wasting
Unless
your
you're,
money.
unless you're buying a 4K TV, that's the only.
And that's what made me
Quality.
angry about Microsoft's conference was you're announcing two basically updated consoles in the same time frame, and they're a year apart. But you're basically saying, oh, the S is coming out in August, so go ahead and buy that. But don't forget, in a year from now, you're going to be buying another console. To me, I'd just be like, well, then I'll just wait the year and a half to get the new console, like the better console to begin with.
For that reason, S is not going to do well.
I don't think it is.
No, it's
Not
going to
at
just be like the Xbox 360 slimmed down version. It's like,
Well, yeah, no.
you could buy this, or you could get this plus this.
The only bright side to the S that I see right now is when the S comes out, the price for the brick for the one that's currently available is going to drop.
Yeah.
That's the only upside. So people that want an Xbox, wait until the S comes out, get yourself one of these monstrous bricks, save yourself some money.
I think it's
It's
already
not
on sale for like
modern brick.
$279.
It is a brick. Compare that thing to the PS4. That thing's like a...
The power thing's a brick, and then
All the power things for all the Xboxes have been a brick, and I know that they have both of my Xboxes hooked up into my TV. So yeah, they're both bricks.
but that's the thing. Like other consoles have been doing it without the brick. I don't think Sony since PlayStation 1 has never had a power brick,
And it's not
No.
even like
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
the closest thing to it was PS2. It had like...
a little
A
power
square.
pack.
On the back, yeah.
The thing doesn't even save power, so it's kind of pointless. It's there to help if your breakers blow, helps them not fry your Xbox, but you can do it with a smaller thing than that brick.
Yeah.
Obviously.
40% smaller. It's gonna be cool. I don't
It
think
don't seem-
announcing it a year away. Like I don't think announcing it so close to just your other announcement. Like if they announced the S like a while back and it was coming out in August, then I think more people would be inclined to buy it and then be like, okay, well then another console's coming out in August, but I already kind of planned on buying this one. But to be like at the beginning of the show to open up with Xbox S or Slim or whatever they're calling it, and then at the end of the show to be like Scorpio will be out next year. I just feel like it's not gonna do well. I think you're absolutely right.
No,
Unless you have money and you're willing to spend another $300 and some odd dollars on the new Xbox, and then in a year spend another probably $400. Because let's be real, it's probably gonna be a shit ton more.
They're going to
Yeah,
be
it's
catering.
gonna be-
They're catering to the super rich. They're
Yeah,
catering
'cause
to the people that have already gone out and bought the 4K TVs.
Yeah, because unless you have a 4K TV, buying new Xboxes your resolution's not going to change if your TV's not capable of that change. So think before you buy
I
stuff.
revert back to my first statement. It's the same product, people.
Yeah.
Next up, we have something that wasn't at E3. They would never have shown something like this at E3. It's been in Kickstart now for a year or two. It's been in the making. I'm intrigued by it. I don't know if you guys played Evolve.
No.
It's Evolve. Well, let me.
Well,
I know what the concept is. I just never played it.
Yeah, for the people that have never played it and don't know what the concept is, Evolve was a 4-on-1, 4 Marines, four soldiers versus one huge monster. This game here that's coming out is along the same line, same vein. Friday the 13th is releasing a game.
Yeah, you were telling me about it. Yeah.
It's 5 camp counselors against 1 Jason.
That's crazy.
And they showed some gameplay footage of his kills, and the AI, I believe the gameplay footage was showing Jason as an AI. Very intelligent.
Yeah.
Very intelligent. Showed one of the camp counselors trying to get away from him. He was the last one alive. Jason yoked him up by the neck, and he managed to break free, and he ran into a cabin. He tried to play it smart. He ran into the back of the cabin, turned on all the lights, turned on the radio, opened the window so they would think that he ran out. He hid under a bed in the first room, and it shows Jason come in. He hears the radio. He starts looking around. He turns the corner into the back room. All you hear is the radio being destroyed. The lights go out. And then you see him come back and head towards the door again. And he stops in his tracks, spins around, looks again, and he just walks over to the bed and impales the entire bed with a machete. It sounds and it looks pretty intense. I'm kind of excited for it. I just hope that the gameplay is a little better than Evolve was.
Yeah, it didn't do too well.
No, the monster was at times very cheap.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just the monster. He had little offsprings too that were just a smidge less tough than they were. This next one here, I know you're excited for. I'm excited, but I have my doubts. Battlefield 1.
I cannot fucking wait.
It looks good.
I can't wait
I've never been afraid of
because
Battlefield.
I'm so excited that they're going back to the old World War stuff and not going future tech, because I hate the future tech shit so much, especially now that like Infinite Warfare Call of Duty is.
Yeah.
It, like space battles and jetpacks and jumping and grappling, and I'm just so tired of it. I want to go back to like just shoot an MP40 and like use like a fucking Springfield sniper rifle just to pick off people and throw like potato masher grenades again. Like that's what I want, and I'm so glad this is happening.
I've played all the Battlefields. At one point or time, I may have owned all the Battlefields. I thought the last one that they put out was a nice fresh breath.
The Hardline?
Hardline.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't war per se. It was war, but it was war on criminals. It was war on drugs and, and gun smuggling, things like that. This one here, the reason I have my doubts is because Battlefield, EA, and DICE, they like to treat their players as if they're already certified helicopter pilots. I mean, when you get into these vehicles, the controls are just ridiculous. Like, I think I managed to keep a helicopter in the air for a matter of 10 seconds before I nosedive into the ground. The controls are so awkward.
I mean, you don't have to worry. There's no helicopters. It's biplane.
Now you got a biplane. You got blimps. You got tanks. I mean, for all I know, you remember that old game that had the big console, the tank game?
Oh yeah.
Was it mechs or tanks? It's one or the other.
Yeah.
But that's probably what the damn thing will be like when you get into the side of a tank. You'll have to press this button to turn the tank on, then press this button to shift gears, then press this button to fire the artillery shells. And it's
then no one's gonna be cheap and play tanks.
No, not at all. I'm a simplistic type of person. Pick up and play. Which brings us to the next thing on the list: Infinite Warfare.
No. Although when I watched the trailer, okay, because I watched Sony's press conference, so I watched it, and then like this whole like thing came on, and it was like it reminded me almost like Halo and Destiny-ish, where they're in like a giant spacecraft, and he's like running around, and they're getting attacked, and he jumps in like this drop ship and he takes off and he does like space battles, and then he like the whole trailer he goes on and he uses his jetpack and grappling and all this shit, and then at the end there's a cool shield, and then they're like Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and I was like, wow, that actually got me really pumped because it looked good, and then I was like, oh, it's a fucking Call of Duty game, so I don't know how to feel. I don't know if I hate it.
Those 3 words usually piss people off.
I don't know how to feel. I don't know if I want to love it or hate it.
I'm yes and no. Yes for a few reasons. No, because Black Ops 3 just left a sour taste in my mouth. The storyline in Black Ops 3 was...
I stopped playing.
It was ridiculous. I played it to the end, and it just did not get any better.
Well, that's what we're working on doing for gameplay still, and it's just...
Notice how we've been skipping a lot of cutscenes. It's just a terrible, terrible storyline.
It was.
The only reason to buy Black Ops 3 was for zombies. The multiplayer was complete and utter garbage. They just added too much crap to it that wasn't necessary to add in. I don't need a secondary special ability. I don't. That's why I have my kill streaks. Don't add more in. You're breaking the formula. They're stating in their statements that it is going back to the old-fashioned wars, but in space. They're comparing it to Modern Warfare, but in space.
I don't think that's possible.
A double standard. Old-fashioned wars in space. It's not Star Wars. It's not
because you have so many new concepts of like the wall run and like the jetpacks and the grappling and the laser guns and like all this stuff. It's like you can't do that. Like it's just I don't see how like physically doing that and involved in space like an old style battle. It basically
sounds like they're just saying they're not giving them a mech suit, and that's what making it.
Probably.
Some of the things in the mech suit weren't bad.
No.
Like what was the one before Call of Duty?
Advanced Warfare.
I mean, I still play
awesome.
that. That's a great game.
Yes, the multiplayer was on point.
They went to Black Ops 3, and for Black Ops 1 and 2, the storyline was so good.
As
you're playing, you're like, this shit might actually... Well, it probably does happen in real life. But then you go to Black Ops 3, and it's all future tech, and like, I could have cared less.
Neural connections and...
Like, the third mind trip into his thing, and they're talking... I'm like, I'm done. I've never skipped through the dialogue before, but I couldn't wait to skip.
Yeah, it started off good. Like, it started off with them breaking the guy out of jail and the robots coming in and attacking him, which I was okay with. And then it started getting into the neural transmitting and connecting via minds, and it went
you get to the point where it's like you have to sneak past the robots, take control of the robots, and then take control of the people. Like that, when I got to that, like one mission, I was like, no.
Yeah. My yeses are because number one, I swore that I was never going to pre-order another Call of Duty after 3. I swore it. I did just because these guys here they hit my soft spot. Number one, it looks good. It visually looks good.
Yeah, it does.
Number 2, they offered up Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yep. That's how they're going to wrangle people in.
They wrangled the hell out of me. That was I spent more hours than I'd care to admit to on that.
Well, you know, we were with you.
That one was near and dear. That one was one of the first games for the 360 that I spent that much time on. That was
probably everybody.
Yeah.
No, not me.
Oh yeah, you.
I stopped playing Call of Duty after they like went away from like the World Wars.
Well, Modern Warfare was just modern. It wasn't like World War.
It was simplistic.
I think I think 2 was the last Modern Warfare 2. I think was the last game I played.
It had what would you give it? 20 guns total, 3 kill streaks.
I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. It's simplistic. It's easy to pick up.
You get to master those 20 guns. When you have all these blasters and sonic blasters,
it's still competitive.
Because people just go around shooting you with laser beams for no fucking reason.
All right, let's move on.
Next one up, I'm personally kind of excited for. These are titles that I grew up with. I really am. E3 excited me.
He's been playing since Atari.
There's a lot of really good titles. Crash Bandicoot Remastered.
Absolutely, I'm totally down for that. I will buy a PS4 for 2 games now.
Kingdom Hearts.
3 games now. Kingdom Hearts, God of War. One day. Well, they have 2.8 coming out, so now
that doesn't matter. You get to
does.
play as what's her name?
No, you get to play Birth by Sleep Point 2 is a transfer game, like an in-between game between 2, Birth by Sleep and 3, and then you also get to play Dream Drop Distance on console, which is cool.
You're playing a game that was on DS or on console.
Alright, so anyway, Kingdom Hearts 3, God of War 4, and Crash Bandicoot now. Those are the 3 games I will buy. Originally was Final Fantasy 15, but now it's on both consoles, so I can really give a shit less. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot Remaster is going to be awesome. I can't wait. If it's anything like, what is it? I think they just did Ratchet and Clank remastered, and apparently people are raving about that. So if they do the same thing what they do with Crash Bandicoot, I'm totally down.
I think it's, if you ever noticed by TV, so everything is going back. Like they're bringing back all the old game shows like Family Feud, $10,000 Pyramid and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure now it's also going to games because Ratchet and Clank came out. You have Crash Bandicoot, and I'm definitely sure Spyro is probably going to be on the way next.
Well, I think the old nostalgia stuff, plus they know it makes money. Also, Family Feud's always been on, and it doesn't work with Ghostbusters. On to the next one.
It's not going to work with Ghostbusters. Let's leave it go there.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man by Insomniac.
Making a comeback.
They didn't show any gameplay, but it was all cutscenes, and it looked fucking awesome.
The cutscenes, it'll be...
Yeah, but it never is. But it looks awesome. Insomniac does really good work with their games, and I think
Tony Hawk.
and I think taking it away from I wouldn't say a bigger name studio because Insomniac's pretty big, but I think taking it away from the people who have done Spider-Man so often and giving it to someone who is a lot different than those same companies, I think giving it to Insomniac, it's going to be really good. It's going to be maybe like really arty. And it's just going to play completely different. Although I did like Amazing Spider-Man.
Activision had the formula down, though. That's the problem. You're giving it to a company that's never done a Spider-Man game. They don't have that formula yet.
To be fair, you could say that with a lot of movies who have continuously done shit product, and then they go to a different company, a different production company, and make it really good.
We're talking to you, M. Night Shyamalan. Stop now.
Well, yeah.
What's the one he's making now?
Airbender? Airbender 2?
Who gave him money?
Airbenderiest?
Who gave him money when he destroyed... And I stick by it. It was...
Dude, he's only done 2 good movies in his career.
Which both were flawed at the end.
He did Signs. He did The Village.
That was flawed. I hated Village.
Village? Really? Village?
I'm just saying, The Village.
That was fucking horrible.
He did
back to Russia.
Woman in the Water or whatever. Didn't he do that? Or
that was horrible too.
Shut up. Signs was good.
Devil was slightly okay.
Devil was good.
Devil.
And the first movie he did.
Bruce
Willis.
The Happening was good.
The Happening.
All the way until the very
end. I see ghost people. Dead people. I see dead ghosts.
I see dead ghosts.
I
would hope they would be dead.
So Spider-Man, yes.
I'm leery on it just because of the fact of A, they don't have the formula down yet. B, it's a brand new company doing it. And
not
C,
brand new company. It's a different company.
It's a different company doing that franchise.
Yeah.
And C, I have not seen enough for it yet.
Yeah, they don't have gameplay. I'm just basing it off of cutscenes.
Yeah, off of cutscenes it looks good, but needs gameplay footage. God of War.
Fucking
Kratos is returning.
Holy shit, that trailer was... And I know you didn't watch the conference, because I did. And I was like... Sony's on at 1 o'clock or whatever, at 6 o'clock, I don't remember what time. And, of course, there's, like, this huge fucking orchestra going, and I'm like, this really sounds like a God of War soundtrack. And I was like, I guarantee they're going to do God of War right now. And it was like a 5-minute orchestra piece, too. And then they finally jumped into it, and, of course... this little boy running through the snow and a forest, and he runs into a hut, and he's talking to some guy in the shadow, and out fucking comes Kratos with a giant beard, and I was like, yes! It's fucking Kratos! I'm so excited. And it only beat my expectation after that because it looked fucking awesome, and all the rumors are true. It's going to be Norse gods, and it's going to just be crazy. I just want to know what the storyline is, how he got from falling off a cliff after being almost killed by Gaia, I want to say 3 ended. I
bought 3 remastered for PS4. I actually have to play through it again to remind myself how it went. That sounds about right, though.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Like I said, this is one of my top 3 games that I would buy a PS4 just for. So
there's a lot of answers that I really hope it dives into. Who did he knock up to have a kid? Did he just adopt the kid after his mother was murdered?
I think that was it.
Don't know how I feel about the babysitting aspect of the.
There's a lot of rumors floating around that he's, I don't want to say grooming because that sounds like a pedophile, but he's basically teaching the kid, and that people are speculating that he may now become the new God of War in the following games forward, which I don't want, but I have a feeling this kid is going to be the reason why Kratos goes back to crazy. I have a feeling at the beginning of the game, which is probably where this gameplay footage was from, this kid is going to get killed.
Acting like a little shit like that, I'd go back to being crazy too. Anyway.
But you can't be the God of War without a reason to fight. So.
There is one game that I caught eyes with that you didn't see anything on. You hadn't heard of it. It's called Steep.
Oh, is that the one with the you're telling me the one with the snowboarding?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's,
I think it's like funded by GoPro. GoPro, the sponsors of that game and my podcast video equipment.
Not sponsors. You don't pay for us, but you could.
I said sponsors of Steep.
It's an extreme sport.
But they could be sponsors.
That's why I did that.
If they really want to. Keep going.
It's all on the same mountain. There's different, like you can. I watched the interview of the guy that actually developed it. He explained how it works. You can transition you can go from the top of the, like say you start off the top of the mountain and you start off with parachuting. You go down a little ways down the mountain, you land your parachute, you can transition then from parachuting to skiing. It's just seamless transition.
It's like a James Bond movie cutscene.
Yeah.
Can I toboggan all the way down?
I mean, technically, I guess you. Well, no, toboggan's not in there, but.
What? I think a toboggan would be fucking cool.
No, I'm just hoping that the guy on E3 explained it better than Brandon.
Nah, it's all based on the same mountain, and they want you to explore the mountain with other players. It is a multiplayer. So the more you explore the mountain, the more maps and everything that you unlock.
It sounds pretty and enjoyable probably for the first hour, but to me it sounds like I'd get extremely fucking bored.
It sounds like the way you keep saying it sounds like it's one map.
Yeah, and I'm sure it looks
amazing. It is one map. It's one map.
I'm sure they'll eventually decide, oh wait, people are not buying this game because it's one map. We should probably put out more maps.
I wouldn't pay $60 for it.
Oh, absolutely not.
Any sports action game, I'm sorry, but they go down in price within 2 weeks.
Here's this one's gonna be near and dear to you guys. Justice League.
Oh god.
Oh, you're talking about? What do you mean Justice League? You're talking about Injustice 2?
Injustice
2. Yeah.
Yeah, Injustice.
I
Injustice
that
League.
copy.
Injustice
that pitch.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and say it looks good. I enjoyed the first one. I really like. I can't remember their name now. The Mortal Kombat creators.
Ed Boon and Mark Tobias.
No, not the actual creators, but the development company behind it who's doing
NetherRealm Studios.
NetherRealm, there you go. Who's doing Injustice 1 was great. I think that the second one's gonna be just as good. So I don't think it's gonna blow us out of the water. I don't think they're just gonna add anything new.
Did you watch the videos of the supers?
They all have super suits.
They posted videos of the main characters' superpowers already. They have one of Supergirl, Superman, Batman. There's like 3 others I can't think of off the top of my head. It shows their super powered moves already.
All right.
Like Superman's is he'll punch him up into the atmosphere, like not space but not Earth. It's just right in the middle, and he's flying towards him. And as he gets to him each time, he'll punch him and it'll go further. And then at the end of it, he grabs him, slams him back down to Earth. Some of the moves look cool, but it's at heart it's what it is. It's a one-on-one fighting game.
Yeah, it's just gonna be Mortal Kombat with the skins of superheroes.
That's all it is.
All right.
I can't really get behind it 100%. I mean, maybe a rental or borrow off of a friend, maybe.
I'm not buying it.
No, not at all.
Probably buy it for some stupid reason.
I'll just borrow it off of Nathan when he's done.
I'm gonna wait till it goes down in price because I mean the first one, that game was I think it was maybe 3 hours of actual gameplay.
I mean the story was cool. Wasn't that the one where Joker tricks Superman into killing Lois Lane and then blowing up the world or some shit?
But it's still
cool.
only
It was a
3
cool
hours of
concept.
gameplay.
Yeah, but
It was
still
worse
the
than the
story.
Order.
I mean, Mortal Kombat. You don't play Mortal Kombat for the gameplay.
But
I
you
mean,
play
for
it
the
for the-
story.
you play
That
the fight.
storyline was better.
You play it to beat your friends up.
Yeah.
That storyline was better than Injustice.
All right.
When Or was that Mortal Kombat versus DC?
Probably Mortal Kombat versus DC is what you're thinking about.
Johnny Shachi.
All right. Your disappointment.
What's next?
Talking about disappointments or something?
Yeah, I know I got my share of disappointments out of E3. I got two main disappointments. They didn't show anything whatsoever Kingdom Hearts related.
Well, because the news for that already was released.
It was like released
months
a week before.
ago.
No, a week or two before. Talking about they're releasing 2.8, and I think just like the Sony thing, if they talked about 3 and got people hyped up, they may not purchase 2.8. So 2.8 is supposed to be like the filler in between. It's getting people hyped. It's like when you're jerking off and you're like right there, and you're like, 2.8. When am I gonna get to 3? Probably one day. So 3's coming out. It's gonna probably be next year. Probably, I'd say March 2017. Yeah, probably first or second quarter.
The game was supposed to come out this year at some point.
Final Fantasy 15 was supposed to come out ages ago. It was called It was called 13 Verses. They debuted it, I think, 9 or 10 years ago, and it's still not out. And now it's finally coming out this year.
You've got fans of the series, Kingdom Hearts. You've got fans of the series that will buy. I mean, I could take a shit in a box, and as long as I stamped Kingdom Hearts on the box, they'll buy it.
You have to have crazy yellow hair as well.
Hey, whatever. You've got fans that are that in depth on Kingdom Hearts.
I am. I've bought in games that I can't even play because I don't have the console. I have Dream Drop Distance on 3D that is not even open because I don't have 3DS. But I bought it because I love the series, and that's me.
My point being that you could have given out a smidgen of information of 3.
But they haven't.
And we'll still buy 2.8.
They did last year.
And they gave out a spreadsheet, but they said they don't want to put it out because they're not happy with it, which I get as a studio.
It's more.
You don't want to put it out if you're not happy with it yourself.
It's more that what I've been hearing is that Disney keeps buying properties. Disney bought Star Wars. Disney bought Marvel.
Disney needs to stop buying properties because every property they buy, they shutter.
Well, Star Wars was good.
LucasArts was shut down the minute that they bought Lucasfilms and Arts.
Yeah, well, that sucks. I really did want to see Order. What was it? There was a fucking bounty hunter game. Yeah, that was going to be awesome. Maybe it'll come out, but
it's doubtful now that Disney owns everything.
But I think what they're doing is they're adding more properties into the Kingdom Hearts series, which I'm cool with. I'm cool with maybe seeing like a Marvel or a Star Wars land or
like Disney put out that what is it? They shuttered their interactive division.
They should.
And then they put out Infinity.
Oh, it was awful.
And they shuttered that entire project.
Nightmare-inducing. Well, because they're not going to win. You had Spyro, Dragon shit. I can't remember what it is. The Skylanders.
That was awful.
It's been kicking. Well, no, but it's been kicking ass. It's been doing a lot better than Infinity.
Have you actually sat down and played 5 minutes of it?
No, but they debuted more stuff at E3 about it, with Crash Bandicoot being a playable character.
Yeah, Skylanders is still.
It's still kicking.
It's not for adults.
No,
that's why
not
but
at all.
Kingdom Hearts, not Kingdom Hearts. Infinity
could have
fails
gone both ways
because you have to keep updating every time. So 1.0 came out, all right, and then you had to go and buy 2.0. Came out, okay, fine, different characters. Then you had to go and buy 3.0, and by next year 4.0 will be out. No one wants to keep buying an add-on to just play with a new damn character. Just release the characters.
Well, let me ask this. How is it the Skylanders is still going and kicking and adding characters and adding this and adding that?
Because they were before everyone else.
And Infinity,
because you don't have to keep
every time they released the next season of characters, they had to release a whole new 2.0, 3.0.
Because it's owned by Disney and they want money.
Yeah, that's why
Disney,
their departments are closing down.
But it's a flawed project, and that's why it's not selling well.
All right, let's go on to the next disappointment.
Next disappointment that I had. These were my 2 biggest disappointments. This is really the only gripes that I had about E3.
I have one.
I just finished Evil Within not long ago, and I heard rumors that they were going to announce the sequel at E3. So it was kind of eyeballing Bethesda's press conference. And they had such a hard-on for Skyrim and Elder Scrolls and all that, which is fine and dandy. Where's my Evil Within?
You're not getting it.
I'm not.
Probably not till next year.
I'm not, but they damn sure announced Prey 2.
Well, Prey, the reboot, not Prey 2. It's going to be a whole new reboot.
Well, Rocksteady had a whole...
Not an even trade.
Yeah, I know.
Rocksteady had a whole
Quake
display
Champions
for Batman,
too.
And there was no Batman thing talked about.
But no, it's Batman Arkham VR. That's what they're talking about. because everything's VR, and that's one of my disappointments. Is
Yeah,
from
the
everything that came
VR.
out, just so much VR stuff, and I get that it's going to be like the future, and I really am enjoying watching a lot of gameplay videos that people are putting together, but it's just so much VR.
I can't afford VR.
And it's
I don't
not,
know many
it's
people that can
expensive.
afford VR.
And it's not a perfected system yet, because some of the VRs you need to be fully equipped, so you can't be that far away from your system, and then
Hence
you trip
the-
over things and
Hence
stuff
the
like that.
PlayStation camera.
Yeah. Or some of the VRs, you know, you either need your keyboard to work with them, and not everyone masters placement on keyboard, so that becomes an issue.
That's why I've never a PC game. I've never.
Because there's a lot of good VRs out right now on Steam, but unless you have a workable controller, you're gonna be screwed.
Well, you have Vive, which is because you have Oculus, which I don't think has controllers. I think it's just the headset, and then you have Vive, which is done by HTC, which has 2 controllers and the headset.
Yeah. And
And I've seen a lot of gameplay with that, and it looks fucking awesome.
yeah,
So.
the Vive is pretty good.
So 3 things that you didn't mention that I really enjoyed from E3. The first was South Park, the Fractured Butthole. They are changing the gameplay mechanics, which actually look really cool. That looks fucking awesome. I really like Stick of Truth,
You
so.
were saying something about them. Now you're able to switch lanes as you're fighting.
Yeah, so it used to be like one-on-one, almost like with Final Fantasy, how you're all just kind of like lined up and then you attack. It's still a time-based attack, but
enemy
you now
soldiers are able to hide behind other enemy soldiers, so you can't get to them.
yeah. So
until
now
you've
you can
gone
move.
through.
Now you can move space, where you can actually now like if there's like a crate of stuff of something there in the field, you can actually move your character to hide behind it, which is cool. Or like move out of the way, or like do whatever. So I think that's gonna be really cool. Another game that was debuted through Microsoft was called Recore. Looked fucking fantastic.
Now that you bring up Microsoft, once we're all said and done, I do have another game.
I was gonna say that you forgot to mention something,
Oh, yeah.
and the
Big
third
one.
one was PS4, which looked fucking stunning. Was Horizon Zero Dawn.
I didn't catch that one.
You have to go take a look at it. It's really good. It reminds me of almost like Far Cry Primal mixed. I think I was telling you this. It's the game that's like Far Cry Primal mixed with like robot animals. And
I did see the trailer.
yeah,
Actually, I did.
it's
see
the one
trailer
where
for
she reprograms like the buck head thing.
that. Yeah, she's chasing down
Um,
the dog-looking robot with
yeah.
the spear. Yeah,
It looked
the bow and arrow.
fucking good. I can't wait for it now. But yeah, you forgot Titanfall too.
I did. Oh man, I'm so upset with myself over that one. Looks absolutely amazing. They've added so much depth to the multiplayer. They added an entire single-player campaign to it. They have grappling hooks now. It kind of looks like the Titans now know kung fu.
Nice.
Like I
Is
was
he
watching them do spin
Keanu
kicks on the
Reeves?
other one. Maybe I don't know. The storyline actually looks pretty good. It was having to do with a Titan that had lost its pilot.
It lost its heart.
Yeah, pretty much. And a rogue pilot comes and they are forced to connect. They're forced to bind with each other.
Are they docking?
This sounds a lot like what's that? It was a great movie too. I can't remember.
The Iron Giants?
Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim. It sounds
Yeah.
like a lot like Pacific Rim.
Kind of.
Come video
Kind
game.
of,
Which
yeah.
I'm so excited. Pacific Rim 2 was finally announced.
It was announced, and then it got canceled. Now it's back on.
Yeah, it's
So.
back on now.
All right. So yeah,
It's
Titanfall
an
2.
expensive project. I
Never
can see
played the
why
first
it's-
one.
Oh, you
Didn't really
missed
care
out.
for it.
Titanfall-
It's funny 'cause
There's
we
no
were-
sense, there's no sense in playing it now because hardly anybody ever plays it anymore.
Well, it's
but-
funny because we were talking about how I really enjoy Overwatch and you hate it, and there's no single player for that. And I hated Titanfall because there's no single player, and you loved it.
I did. I don't know what it was, man. It was just it was all online multiplayer. It was all multiplayer, but it had a story to go with it, which I was like in the middle of the match, you would have a pop up on your HUD, and that character would come up and explain a little bit of the story. Why you're attacking, what you're attacking, why you're defending, what you're defending, who you're supposed to be going after. It was a very interesting story. It was just a war between two factions over resources.
Yeah.
So Walking Dead meets robots.
Yeah.
We'll see how it turns out. So I think that's pretty much it for E3. Did we miss anything on your end, Nathan?
No, that's basically it.
All right. So I think we pretty much covered all like the big games. There's definitely a lot more on E3 that they announced and debuted. Some games that didn't really look that good to me.
Of course, we didn't mention anything that was Nintendo. That's just...
Well, Nintendo didn't really announce anything themselves.
Outside of Legend of Zelda.
Other than Zelda and Pokemon, they didn't really talk about anything about the NX or any games coming for the NX except for Zelda. So it was just like, whatever.
They're probably trying to just sell themselves, really, anymore.
They should just sell. They should just sell off everything. Sell their assets. Give it to Microsoft.
Actually, I do gotta ask, Sony, what's the deal with this game that everybody's raving over, that No Man's Land?
Oh yeah, No Man's Land. It's like oh, you're talking about the one that got canceled. I thought you were talking about Days Gone. No Man's Land is apparently like this open universe game where you get to have, you get to have your own planet, and every time you come across another one, you can like, it's yours. But apparently it's so massive that you wouldn't be able to reach like the other side of the universe in your own lifetime.
Interesting.
Like most like it didn't get canceled, it got pushed back. And apparently there was like threats and stuff to like the creators. Yeah, it's like crazy shit. But another thing, Sony, Days Gone, which is like that zombie biker game.
I didn't see anything on that one.
Go watch it. It's really
God.
Good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
It looked really good, actually.
It's basically an open world zombie game where they're not stupid slow zombies. They're like World War Z zombies meets Gears of War style attack.
This is what I was telling you about, the one where there was like a mob of people like running after the guy, and he just kept turning around and shooting. And,
okay.
So
and it's full of vulgarity and stuff. So he's running, like, oh shit.
I know you played or mentioned, maybe you got into it for a little while, State of Decay.
No, I never played it. I watched a lot of stuff about it, but
that one's got a sequel coming.
Yeah.
I can't be pumped about it. It's not my style.
Yeah, me either. It's like Sims meets zombies.
You know what I want, Valve, if you're listening?
Half-Life 3.
Left 4 Dead 3?
Portal 3. Anything game that has a 3 in it.
Just make a game with 3 in it.
Portal 3 is announced? Woo!
Never gonna happen.
You could.
On that note, I think it's time to end our E3 discussion.
Yeah. A lot more good than bad, though.
So. Now to go into the black takes all white. How you guys doing? I'm kidding.
It's another Oreo. Anyway, so cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Until next time.
Oh, it's so warm. Tastes like an apple pie.